All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig in a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er post-draft video. And check out Pig in a Pickle. They've got two locations in Corte Madera and in Emeryville. They're open 7 days a week in Marin County from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they're open Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Well, today we're going to look at 49ers Day 3 draft choice, Brayden Willis. And Willis is a great story. He was a 3-star recruit and the district MVP at James Martin High School in Arlington, Texas. Played 13 games as a true freshman at Oklahoma as a reserve tight end and H-back. Played a little special teams. Then he got 2 starts as a sophomore, got a little bit more experience, played in 6 games in 2020. However, due to injury, managed to score just once in 5 appearances and started 8 of 13 games in 2021, where he really started to bust out. But he became a huge part of the Sooners offense this last year. He was a second-team All Big 12 Conference honoree, 39 receptions, 514 yards, 13.2 yards per reception, and he had a team high. He led his team with 7 receiving touchdowns. So, interesting player for sure. A lot of interesting stuff. I mean, this is a guy who, in his final season at Oklahoma, went from a role player in Lincoln Riley's offense to really the centerpiece of the offensive scheme. And, that obviously helped him get drafted. He was taken 30th overall in the 7th round, number 247 overall by the 49ers. And this last year, he kind of came of age, and he became a team captain. He was a leader for that football team, and he acknowledged at his pro day in March that the whole NFL pre-draft process has been difficult, but that he's loving making his dream come true. So, great story. I mean, the name of the game with Brayden Willis is clearly versatility. I mean, he's a versatile guy. He can play tight end. He's probably going to be able to play fullback. As a blocker, he'll get after it. To me, he's not a great inline blocker, but he definitely has potential to be a fantastic lead blocker. He has a very aggressive mindset, and it's really just about consistency at this point. If he can be a little bit more consistent, he's going to be a really nice lead blocker. Against Texas this year, Oklahoma actually gave him a chance to play Wildcat quarterback, and he executed some zone reads. And he's got ability as a runner, as a decision maker, and it was impressive watching him do it. He also should provide some, special teams ability. He's going to play on all 4 special teams, and you're talking about a guy who's got 850 career college snaps on special teams. So he's very experienced special team player. He's an interesting guy, 6'2", he's 240, so he's a little on the shorter side for a tight end. And he spent a lot of his time at Oklahoma splitting time with Jeremiah Hall. But then he took advantage of that extra year of eligibility and put up the best season of his career, got invited to the Senior Bowl, second team all-conference. And, it's like he's probably a little too short to be your ideal tight end. He's not an ideal fullback. He's more of a hybrid player. But he's a physical blocker for sure. And he takes good angles. He'll stay in the way, gets in front of guys. He's got a strong upper body. He's not your traditional tight end. He's probably too small to work on the line of scrimmage as a traditional tight end. But he's just too tough and too versatile and too competitive to not want on your football team. So, if you watch the film on Brayden Willis, he does stand out. Now, why does he stand out? He's not particularly explosively fast, but you can see he's insanely competitive. He's tough, and he's going to play big in big games. You can kind of feel it. He could become an exceptional receiving weapon out of the backfield as a receiving fullback. If you want to use him as a fullback and throw him the ball out of the backfield, I think that's where he could really be a mismatch. If you watch his film, he makes an array of different catches. It wasn't like he made one catch repeatedly. They threw him a bunch of different kinds of balls. They lined him up in different spots and threw him all kinds of different worked him in different patterns and threw him passes in different parts of the field. What I loved about him the most is he works the middle of the field with courage and conviction. I mean, you're not intimidating this guy in the middle of the field. He's going to make catches in the middle of the field. There definitely were too many balls where he caught the ball and fell immediately to the ground. You'd love to see him keep his feet and produce some, yards after the catch yardage. But what you do see is you see a guy who will break tackles, who will fight for every yard. He's super competitive. He plays with a fire. He wears 81, so I would imagine he'll probably have to switch. Are they going to give him TO's 81? Probably not. But there were a number of plays where you're seeing Brayden Willis give an incredible second effort to get a first down. This guy plays with urgency. But what I really love the most is he's going to really fit in with the 49ers. Why? Because he's another weapon that you can use in the middle of the field. Brock Purdy's had a lot of success throwing to tight ends. He's going to love throwing to this guy. He's got a good catch radius, and he'll run across the middle of the field. He's not worried at all about getting knocked around, taking a big hit. I saw him take big hits and hold on. He reminds me in a lot of ways of kind of a shorter, thicker version of Jawan Jennings. Very similar to Jennings in that lot of belief, a lot of toughness, a lot of intelligence. You can see the conviction with which he runs his patterns in the middle of the field. So I like this player quite a bit. Now, he's not going to be for everybody. I don't know that he's going to be a tight end. To me, he seems like a replacement for Juszczyk. He looks like a fullback. But if you can use him as a fullback, backup tight end, special teamer, wildcat quarterback, they're probably a role for Brayden Willis on this team. He's an interesting player to watch because he definitely has good body control. He can make blocks in space. He can find an athlete in space and pick him off. He's got strong hands. You can see that when he latches on, he doesn't let go. There's zero hesitation when he's working in the middle of the field. So he's not worried about getting hit. And then he can catch the ball in traffic, with guys all around him. He made a couple plays in the end zone that were very wide receiver-like. And you don't see fullbacks catching it like that. You don't see tight ends catching it like that. So he's not the burner run after the catch. He's not a guy who's just going to run away from the coverage and go the distance. But he's got great toughness in his run after the catch. He's going to put two hands on the football. He's going to take hits. There were several times where he had those almost like Mark Bavaro type moves where, he's dragging 3 and 4 defenders down the field. So that was great to see. He definitely needs work getting into and out of his breaks. He looks a little tight. Doesn't look real natural doing it. He's not a vertical threat. His catch radius could be bigger for sure. I'm not sure if he's what you want as a blocker, as a tight end. He's definitely a little smaller than you want at the, as far as, blocking on the line of scrimmage against a defensive end. But the competitive fire, the courage across the middle, the multi-position ability, and just the desire. I mean, this guy plays with a lot of fire and a lot of competitive fire. And you saw it when the Niners drafted him. He's like, 31 teams are going to regret not drafting me. So he's passionate, and you see that passion in his play. So he I'm not sure if he's an inline blocker. I'm not sure if he's any kind of an impact vertical threat as a receiver. But what he is a versatile player who I think can be an excellent receiving fullback, and a guy who, if you get into a passing situation, man, you can put this guy on the field at fullback or at tight end, and he gives you an outstanding pair of hands. So Brayden Willis, I think it's a good pick. He's an interesting guy because what's he going to play? Is he going to play tight end? I don't know. Is he going to play fullback? Is he going to be a special teamer to start? I'm not sure exactly how he fits in, but I really like this kid's potential. I love his competitive fire, and I love how he runs across the middle of the field like he owns it. It reminds me of Debo, reminds me of Ayuk. It reminds me in a lot of ways of Juwan Jennings. And for that reason, I think Brayden Willis is going to fit in great with the 49ers. All right, hope you enjoyed our Brayden Willis video. Check out Pig in a Pickle. They've got 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. And thanks to all of you for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.